This is a super advanced worldedit tutorial for anyone who needs to learn how to use worldedit, whether you've just installed it or you already know the basics. This will help you out so you can become a pro at making stuff with worldedit in just however long this video is. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Wooden axe, also known as the wand. You can use left click to select position 1 and right click to select position 2. There's a bunch of things you can do with this. You can do / move, which will move it, or let's say I want to move it 10 blocks, it'll move 10 blocks. But if you notice, it didn't actually move. This is because now that I moved it, now it selected the air. So if I wanted to move it again, I would have to reselect it. But before we get started with the video, I'd like to kindly ask you to subscribe to my channel. These videos take a lot of time and effort, and I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. There's also a / stack, or just / stack. So I can select these two edges. Sometimes the chat message doesn't show up, but I assure you it did select it. So I'll do / stack 2 or 4. And now I have it stacks 4. And yes, / stack does maintain block data or block MBT data. BT data, if I do / stack with this, and then if I got target blocks, you can see that when I turn this on, they all summon an armor stand. So it does maintain data. It also can maintain entity data. So if I do here and here, I can do / copy -E. This copies entities, /M /B copies biomes. I don't know what /M does. So you can see it says 0 biomes affected, 1 entity is affected. So now if I do / paste, you can see that the villager is right in this hole. And when I stood here and copied it, when I pasted it here, it pasted it with me standing on this block there. So that's how / paste works. Now let's say I wanted to do a different rotation. So I do / rotate any degree that I want. And then, however, interpolation is not supported, so you would have to do it in intervals of 90. So let's say 90 degrees. And then you could be / paste. And this is a perfect example of why you only rotate at 90-degree intervals, since I did it at 45 degrees and that happened. So don't do it at 45 degrees, it'll just mess the entire thing up. And large scale things can also mess stuff up, like since it's so many blocks I can paste in. And unlike /fill in vanilla, there is no actual limit to how many things you can have. Trade 2 different functions at once. So I can do / any shape. I'm now going to demonstrate 2 things at once. I can do / any shape. So let's do a sphere. And I can make it out of as many or whatever blocks I want. So let's do stone, oak planks, netherite blocks, end stone, and bedrock. And I want to have a diameter of 5 blocks. And now you can see that I have created a hollow sphere out of these blocks. Now if I wanted to make a hollow sphere, I know I just said that, I meant to say solid sphere, I just put an H in front of it, and now it's hollow. I can do this with a bunch of different shapes, so there's pyramid and hollow pyramid. And those are the 2 big shapes that people will use. And now let's move on to the brush feature. Under the brush. So you can have all of these different things, which is pretty impressive. So I'm just going to show you some of them. So here's one of them, sphere. And I can make it out of any blocks I want. So once again, I'll just type in a bunch of blocks. So I've made the brush. So you have to do this while holding a shovel, and essentially you just build on it. And let's say I realize, oh wait, bamboo doesn't work, so I just do bamboo block, and it will rebind itself. And I can also edit many other things like the size. And you can do this pretty insanely. But it only goes up to 6, sadly. And you can create worms like this, and then you can also use other configurations. So let's say I was like, oh no, it's way too rough or rugged. I could do /smooth. And yeah, it would, in theory, just smooth this out. And I could, again, set it to do a certain, like, amount. And as you can see, it's just, like, smoothing it out. I could just smooth out the village. Make it all nice and smooth. And it's a really funky function. I can smooth out what I've made over there. It's super funky, and it can have some odd effects. Like, you see what happened when I pointed at the pyramid? I'm literally moving it downwards right now. That is so weird. There's also Butcher. Just lets you delete animals. Again, radius. Why can't I? Okay, I guess you can't kill villagers. And then there's also, like, gravity, which it essentially makes the blocks fall. So, like, let's look over here. I just made it fall, which is also really cool. So, like, let's say I want to spawn an ancient city up here, and I'm like, oh no, it's too high. Let's just make it lower. So this is a super funky tool that lets you just lower stuff. Also, you can use Heightmap. You can also deform stuff. Obviously, you can make stuff more cuboid, which means you just, like, raise a certain area cuboidally in a cube configuration, or cylindrical configuration, or spherical configuration. So, really cool. The brush, you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. You can also paint with it. So let's say I wanted to make a pixel art with red concrete. I could do that, and then I can literally just paint with it. And then, while painting with it, I could write out a message on the ground. I could use this feature to write out a message, like subscribe, which you should do. You should subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying this tutorial, and you should also check out some of my other videos since they're all super fun and cool. Okay, so now let's work with some of the more basic things, but also miscellaneous. So there's obviously replace, so I can go here, here, and do like / replace, grass block with anything that I want. Let's say diorite, and it'll replace it with diorite. Now I'll do / forest, and I can do any kind of forest that I want. So let's do pine forest, actually rand, and I'll do a density of 3. So that means random. So I'll do / undo, or I can do a density of 7 or 100. I kept doing this, it'll fill, and fill, and you can just use this to create artificial forest, which is pretty helpful for landscaping. Also, I can do / snow, which will just plop some snow below me, and I can, again, control the radius of this. Yeah, but again, if you go too big, it might break. There you have it. This is your conclusive tutorial on how to use worldedit. It doesn't use every single command, since that would be like an 1.5 hour long video, but these are like the most used commands, so this should probably be anything that you'll ever need. But with that, I hope you subscribe, and I will see you next time.